Which game needs a sequel? The Infamous series and Jak and Daxter would be my picks.
Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I think that one deserves a sequel for sure.
Burnout. I just want Burnout to be back. Activision, what the hell did you do? I don't want to play Need for Speed.
Splinter Cell for sure.
Sekiro, Bloodborne, and Code Vein.
Fallout New Vegas, I think. People would love a sequel.
Spore, for sure, has got to be the game that needs a sequel. That game didn't evolve. After you were done, you went to space, and that was it.
I would like to see a continuation of Deus Ex, Sunset Overdrive, and surprise, DMC Devil May Cry.
Bully. The game started in the boarding school, I think. So maybe the sequel should be on the college, office world, I don't know, business. Why not? Interesting.
Siphon Filter. It had to be given a chance since those days.
I don't know what game needs a sequel, but I'm telling you now, a game that needs a remaster is Dino Crisis. Shout out to my fellow 90s kids. We the only ones that know what that game is.
I would like to see a prequel to The Last of Us. I'd like to see them kind of go through the journey of Tommy and Joel and how they survived the outbreak in the beginning. You know that they did really bad stuff, but you don't really know what or to what extent. I'd really like to see that. Why Joel became the way he is. Like, we know why, but you know, how he came to be that character that we met in the first game.
2 games that I do believe deserve a sequel. Number 1 is going to be Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier, because it is a modern sci-fi shooter. It just shows a lot of cool potential. And then Star Wars Republic Commando was a really well done quality FPS game. It took tactical FPS to a whole nother level where you command your squad. Each member was very specialized in doing what they do, from the explosives to the sniper to the slicer.
I would say Titanfall 2. Titanfall 1, it was completely multiplayer, there was no campaign, but Titanfall 2, it is hands down my favorite campaign. The relationship that you get to build with BT, which is your robot in that game, and the way it develops between you and him, all of the bosses, and just the goal that you're fighting towards, to put it in very broad terms. It was all just strung together very well. I think if they could pull something off like that again with Titanfall 3, which, dear God, I hope they have one, I would be ecstatic. I think Titanfall 2 really needs a sequel.
Dead Island needs a new release now. We've been waiting for Dead Island 2 for so long, but I've got very high hopes and high expectations if they do release Dead Island 2, that it will be absolutely amazing. It will blow everything out of the water, and it will just be chef's kiss.
Bully. Bully was an iconic Rockstar game that has not been touched since the PS2 years. A Bully 2, I would want to go back to Jimmy Hopkins or a new character.
The Deus Ex games could get a re-release. The original one is probably one of the deepest games of all time. Seeing that one re-released and brought up to the modern day graphical standard, but with the same characters, storylines, all that kinds of stuff, I think that would be awesome.
Mad Max, if they would get a actually good story into that, because overall it was pretty fun game, but the story sucked. Or Red Dead Redemption 1, if they would release it on PC.
We need another Fallout sequel. We need one. Fallout 5, not like Fallout 76. Maybe some sort of multiplayer, but still, we need another Fallout game. Easily.
Blur, which is one of the most underrated games on PS3 and one of the funnest multiplayer games of all time.
Mercenaries Playground Destruction on the PlayStation 2. That game was absolutely brilliant. It came out in like 2006 from Pandemic Studios, who have sadly shut down, but if they re-released it, or if someone got the rights to re-release it, I would gladly play it. I would buy it immediately.
I think Mega Man needs more games. I know that sounds silly to say since he already has so many sequels, but I think it would be awesome if there was a game that bridges the gap between the classic Mega Man series and the Mega Man X series. Clearly something apocalyptic happens between the time of Mega Man and his successor, X, and it's about time that we see what that is.
The game needs a sequel, in my opinion, is Metal Gear Solid. The last title was out about 6 years ago, so it's due for a refresh.
Jade Empire. That game needs a sequel. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. I grew up with Knights of the Old Republic, and then somebody just like came up with the idea of what if we put like Chinese mythology with Knights of the Old Republic. They kind of just like mashed it together. It's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon with Knights of the Old Republic, and you sprinkle it with a little bit of maybe Avatar: The Last Airbender and Chinese mythology. The fact that you could create your own character and have their own kung fu skills skills. Oh my gosh. With Kung Fu powers? Oh, dude, I need a sequel. Give me more of that. I would love to have a Jade Empire too. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for so long.
SSX tricky, because I'm a great skier.
A game that I think deserves a sequel is The Order 1886. It was a PS4 release title. It had sort of an unfortunate development. The runtime of the game was very short. A lot of emphasis was placed on the graphics. It looked amazing for a PlayStation 4 game, even up to today's standards. And I'd really love to see that world again.
First one would be Red Card. So it's like that football game back in the early 2000s where you can just kick everyone. You had aliens in it. It's just a great fun game, and I still can't believe we don't have like a proper next-gen console game on it.
I've been waiting for the new Elder Scrolls. We've been waiting for so long since Skyrim. We need a new one.
Fallout from Obsidian. I think that they did the best, represented the old Fallouts the best in the new era of gaming that we're in. I believe if they were to make another Fallout game, it would be absolutely incredible and groundbreaking and better than Bethesda could ever do with Fallout.
The easy pick would be Metal Gear Solid, The Phantom Pain.
Metal Gear 5, The Phantom Pain, was a beautiful game. I loved everything about it, but it just left so many loose ends. Like, what happened with the children on the base? We saw young Liquid. When we're gonna see young Snake? I need another Metal Gear. I love Metal Gear.
Most definitely, and I'm sure as hell that I'm not going to be the only one that says this, the Need for Speed Most Wanted. EA need to make this happen again. It's been 10 years since it was released, and it was one of the best racing games that I've ever played. The story mode was amazing. It really made you feel like you're a bad boy doing all these races, ducking the cops and everything. With today's engines, I think it would be really, really great, but I think EA might be scared to do the rework because, you know, some things are just better the way that they were. Example, the ending was really, really good and everybody loved the game. So maybe reopening that could be harmful in some sort of a way.
Definitely Infamous, because played all three of them. Either a remake of the first game, I'd say did not age well, or a sequel to Second Son, because, you know, being a superhero is badass. Gameplay is amazing, the choices, yeah, I really love it.
Cyberpunk 77.
Definitely Star Wars Jedi Knight series.
I like Mortal Kombat. Maybe like switching it up, doing something else. I've been consistent, which I like Mortal Kombat, but like maybe doing something a little different.
If the guys that make iRacing, formerly known as Papyrus, make another NASCAR racing game, they could use their laser scan tracks that they already have, their laser scan cars that they already have, put in some good AI, get the NASCAR license, put in the paint schemes, make your championship, open it up to multiplayer land races as well. But unfortunately, they're not going to do that. They're focused on their online racing series only and selling tracks and cars piecemeal. I wouldn't imagine what they would charge to put the cup cars in with the tracks that are licensed. Buying that stuff on iRacing would be several $100s right then and there.
What game needs a sequel? Yeah, I would say Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, because the story was amazing, the combat was amazing as well. I gotta love the combat, and yeah, I'm just excited to see what happens next in that storyline.
A lot of people complain about remakes. This game doesn't need a remake. Who cares? The old game's still available. I love a remake. Soul Reaver on the PS1. I'd love to see a remake of that. That game was fire.
Tell me more. That sounds interesting. I'll check it out. And it's like, you haven't checked it out already?
What is going on, everybody?
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Follow Gameology, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for your time.